Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is now in session. The court is in session in cause number 23 CCCR 0346. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Jeremy John Lowe. Mr. Lowe, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lowe, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Lowe, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lowe, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Lowe?
Pretty good.
That's good. Mr. Lowe, you're represented in your case by your attorney, James Macon. Attorney Macon, how are you doing?
I'm very good, Your Honor.
That's good. State is represented by Haley Simmons. Ms. Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm good. Great, Judge. How are you?
Doing fine. Mr. Macon, do you waive a record in Mr. Lowe's case?
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Lowe, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, Mr. Lowe, it alleges that you, Jeremy John Lowe, on or about August 30th of 2022, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Lowe, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this case, or to this charge, Mr. Lowe, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you pleaded guilty freely and voluntarily,
Yes, sir.
and are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lowe, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature. Oh, no, his signature is not here. At the top of his check. Thank you. Mr. Lowe, on page 3 of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, this document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Uh-oh, he didn't sign this one either. Where the check mark is. Mr. Lowe, on this next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's marked. First box that's marked states that this is a plea bargain agreement and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that marked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
I also have another document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
Mr. Lowe, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lowe, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection to state's one.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Macon, you've advised and counseled Mr. Lowe. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
Mr. Lowe, your attorney, Mr. Macon, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lowe, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea of guilty, the state's offering 60 days time served and 2 tax and retired court costs.
Mr. Lowe, the state is offering that you serve 60 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you would not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you have already served 60 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you have already served. Court costs in this case will be, the court costs and fines in this case will be taxed and retired. That just simply means that the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, it will be taxed and retired. Mr. Lowe, do you understand the state's offering?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Lowe, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Lowe, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. Mr. Lowe, you're gonna stand in front of our court coordinator, follow the directions of the coordinator and the bailiff. Once you finish following their directions, you can follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Macon, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
And nice seeing you. Okay, Ms. Simmons. Jefferson County Court, law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in 4 cases. Cases are cause numbers 23CC 0038, cause number 2M333890, cause number M334196, and cause number M334198. All 4 cases are styled the state of Texas versus Randall L. Stewart. Mr. Stewart, is that your full name?
Yes, Randall Lee Stewart.
Okay. Mr. Stewart, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Stewart, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stewart, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Stewart?
I'm doing all right.
That's good. Mr. Stewart, you represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney Mark Faggett, Attorney Faggett. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, Judge. Thank you for asking.
And you're welcome. Now, Mr. Faggett, do you waive a record in Mr. Stewart's cases?
We do.
Mr. Stewart, in cause number M334196, I have before me an information that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Stewart, it alleges, don't do that, the thing on the MP that I just did. I need to make a change on the case we just did.
Okay, Lou?
Yeah, low, just hold up on that.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Stewart, in cause number M334196, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about December 3rd of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespassing. Mr. Stewart, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. Stewart, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, you're pleading no contest freely
Yes.
and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stewart, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials that are on a line next to a box that says check nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defender. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature
Yes,
on
sir.
the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me on paper a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line
Yes,
that's
sir.
titled Defendant? Mr. Stewart, before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Faggett, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stewart, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1 at that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
None, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Faggett, you advised in counsel, Mr. Stewart, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None, Your Honor.
And court has received a copy of a report regarding his competency. The court is going to take judicial notice of that report. Mr. Faggett, you received a copy of this report as well. Do you have any objections to finding conclusions, recommendations in this
No, sir,
report?
I don't, and I have no objections whatsoever, and I think they did a really good job with him at this Dunn Behavioral Science Center over in Houston. This court's aware when we first began dealing with Mr. Stewart, he was having some very serious mental health issues, and very much due to his own desire to get well and the help that he received in Houston, I would agree 100% he's competent.
And
he's living with his mother, He going and taking his medications now, and he's to be commended for that.
Okay, State, you received a copy of the report from UT Health. Do you have any objection to the final conclusion and recommendations in this report?
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay, again, the court will take judicial notice of the report that it has received from the UT Health regarding Randall Stewart. That's okay. That's great. Now, Mr. Stewart, your attorney, Mr. Faggett, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Stewart, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I'll also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea of guilty, the state's offering 22 days time served and 2 tax and retired court calls. In addition to that, the state will be dismissing calls 23 CCR 0038, M333890, and M334118.
Okay. Let's see. Now, Mr. Stewart, the state is offering that you serve 22 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you served, I guess, more than enough time in this case. Now, the court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that the time that you spent in jail has already paid off the court costs.
Okay.
Therefore, it will be taxed and retired. And the state will be dismissing cause numbers 23 CCCR 0038, cause number M3339, cause number M333890, and cause number M334198. Now, Mr. Stewart, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your cases, or in this case, is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Stewart, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Stewart, the court would like to commend you for participating in the course in the mental health program.
Thank you very much.
And as your mom said, you know, you're 98%. Well, I would say you're 100%. Because from the last time, and your attorney and prosecutors can attest to that, the last time that you were here, it was obvious.
I was without medication for a while as well.
Wow, yeah, and it was just obvious that you needed help, and you got the help that you needed, and because you got the help, you'll be able to live a productive life, and you know, you can put all of this here behind you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You know, people said that, you know, they want a second chance, but we have a God who gives. He's a God of many chances. Okay. And so, again, we like to commend you for taking the first step. But like I tell people all this time, the challenges that you have is like a race. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And if you know the difference between a sprint and a marathon is a long race. But in a marathon, you get tired. You may get tired along the way. But if you get tired along the way, that's not a problem because it happens to us. There are people that you can lean on for support, okay, to help you along your journey.
Thank you very much.
All right. And again, Mr. Randall, the court is going to commend you for taking advantage and taking care of your mental health issues. Okay. So at this time, You're gonna stand to my right in front of our court coordinator, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions and the bailiff's directions, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Faggart, you're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. I'm really impressed with what he did at the Health Science Center.
Yeah,
I'm real impressed.
yeah,
Matter of fact, this may be I don't know how you can just put it in order and just ship them, just have them sent there. Because it's a lot better result than we've been seeing coming out of Ruskin Burnings and all those places.
yeah.
I've been doing them. Judge will tell you, I used to do the county commitment once a week. I did it often for 13 years. I was a lawyer.
Mr. Baggett, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Go do good. Okay?
I will.
Stay on your man. There you go. I love the whole staff.
And yeah,
Always remember, God. does-
you're welcome. Yeah.
The main thing is the mess.
Yes.
And Mr.